71% of Fortune 2000 companies disappeared since 2000, and more than 50% of Fortune 500 companies disappeared since 2000. Can you imagine that we work in the age of disruption nowadays?
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of AI Business Transformation. I'm Michael Coppola, and I'm really excited today to have a guest. He has advised for Fortune 500 brands, judged at the Webby Awards, and was ranked number one of marketing thought leader globally, Vladimer Botsvadze. Today, Vladimir is going to break down some of the most important moves that actually drive business value from AI and what actually separate from real transformation to expensive theater. Vladimir, welcome.
Hi, Michael. It is a pleasure to be a guest on your podcast. Many thanks for the invitation. Excited to share my actionable insights with your audience today.
Thanks, Vladimir. I'm really excited to know more about your journey and your insight about this digital transformation. You have been working in digital transformation for 15 years. What do you think is the biggest difference between the company that are transforming successfully back then versus the ones that are trying to transform with AI right now?
Yeah. Michael, I think it's all about adaptability. And as you know, more than 71% of Fortune 2000 companies disappeared since 2000, and more than 50% of Fortune 500 companies disappeared since 2000. Can you imagine that we work in the age of disruption nowadays? And what are the top ingredients that allow top brands to remain relevant in the age of AI? Adaptability, being consumer-centric, and agility. Agility, Michael. These three ingredients allow brands to move forward. But as you know, AI is a most revolutionary technology, and it requires so much investment in artificial intelligence. I think every company needs to become an agentic company, or they are dying company. And as you know, many companies are still reluctant to integrate artificial intelligence into their daily operation. And I imagine that more brands will disappear in the foreseeable future, because as I mentioned, that adaptability, customer centricity, and agility are the beyond and all. So if you look at in the last 15 years, which brands have been dominant? Tesla, because founder Elon Musk is the face of the brand. Brian Chesky is a face of Airbnb, and also Daniel Ek of Spotify. And we admire those brands whose founders put a human face on their businesses, right? So as you know, trust in businesses, brands, and advertising declined 15 years in a row. More than 1 billion consumers have ad blockers on mobile devices. Many brands think that consumers consume ads, but they don't, because trust has been decreasing. But conversely, trust has been increasing when it comes to artificial intelligence. So nowadays, consumers trust artificial intelligence, and that is the way, because we used to market, for example, to end users, and now we need to market to artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is transforming decision-making process.
And most AI conversation is about productivity and cutting cost, but you come from a marketing and brand grow angle. How is AI actually changing the way that businesses acquire new customer?
Well, it's all about analyzing consumers' data. It's all about listening to consumers. it's all about personalizing. Personalization is also a main driver of growth. So brands that capitalize on artificial intelligence technologies like generative AI, they catch many birds with one stone. They listen to consumers. They optimize social media campaigns. They create content with generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, Claude, and the rest of generative AI tools that are available at our fingertips. As you mentioned, that cost reduction is that uh, companies reduce costs when it comes to content creation because with generative AI tools, they can create better content. But I believe that when the companies use generative AI tools, they move forward, they gain ground, go places, and move up in the world. And I can imagine that, as I mentioned, that every company needs to become an agentic AI company, and it is up to brands to invest wisely, generative AI tools to create better content, to listen to consumers, to analyze data, to optimize their campaigns, and brands that wisely use AI tools truly win in the long term.
And working with Fortune 500 brands and the early stage startup, you have a broader experience. When it comes to AI adoption, who do you think is actually moving fast, and who are actually implementing more efficiently AI, and how small businesses can also learn from the big businesses?
Well, I believe that big companies are very slow and startups are very fast. So startups truly integrate artificial intelligence in daily operations. Like Lovable is a great startup, AI startup, agentic AI startup, and where you can build applications, you can build websites through Lovable. And on the other hand, I believe that big organizations are hesitant to use AI technologies because they question the ROI of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, and but the ROI of artificial intelligence is trillions of dollars. So we see many brands like Meta, like Nvidia, Microsoft, and the rest of groundbreaking companies investing heavily in artificial intelligence. But on the other hand, there are still many brands out there that are truly hesitant to use artificial intelligence wisely. But that's why they don't create enough content. They don't listen to consumers. They don't analyze data. They don't. They are very far from their consumers, and we work in the age where personal brand has become a company brand, and even Elon Musk's personal brand is a company brand, right? So I also believe that companies have more benefits where their founders build their personal brands, right? Because we are no longer in B2B or B2C. We are in age to age where human beings want to do business with human beings, not businesses. We trust our friends. We trust our colleagues. We trust our neighbors. We trust human beings. So as business is driven by word of mouth marketing, because nowadays businesses are built on small town rules, it's imperative to brands to care about word of mouth marketing because they need to become consumer centric. Also to utilize AI technologies, generative AI and agentic AI to drive their results forward.
So do you think the brands that are gonna win, they are gonna be the one that do founder-led content?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because as you know, there are 5.6 billion social media users, and it costs $0 to build your brand across social media channels. it is clear as crystal that the only way to build your brand is social media, because advertising no longer builds your brand, TV commercials no longer build your brand, and outdoor media no longer builds your brand. So we are in the eyeballs and ears business. So wherever eyeballs and ears are going, we need to go there to tell our stories. So as you mentioned, that the founder-led brands go where eyeballs and ears are going to tell the best stories, and they will.
So you're saying that we are going to see a lot of smaller brands growing from competing against these huge legacy businesses, basically.
Yes, absolutely. Because as you know, big corporations don't have personal connection, and big companies buy small companies that have personal connection, because small businesses have advantage because their founders are the face of their brands, but nobody knows the executives of big corporations, and that is a big disadvantage.
And talking about companies that are using AI effectively and who is actually just mentioning that they are using AI, you have seen many of different companies. What separate the businesses that they are genuinely using AI well and the one they are just, using as a marketing strategy?
Well, I don't believe that even there are big companies that use AI for marketing purposes, because still many companies are hesitant to use AI technologies. Because, when I speak at conferences throughout the world, and when I ask my audience how many people use generative AI tools, there are maybe 300 marketing executives, and only 5, 10, 20 people raise their hands. I think the only tiny minority of marketers and executives use generative AI tools. It is clear as crystal, but they need to use more. So much is changing in digital transformation. It's all about adaptability. Many brands have gone out of business because they did not adapt to the reality of the marketplace. Blockbuster, Nokia, Kodak, and rest of them, because it's all about being consumer centric. Because nowadays many brands say that they are consumer centric, but they don't spend their time on what consumers are doing online, right? But those startups that have been founded by their founders and who build their personal brands, they directly interact with consumers, and it is a big differentiator: direct communication with consumers, right? Because when you build your robust personal brand, you have direct communication with consumers, and you improve product based on the feedback of real consumers.
It seems an effective strategy. Not everyone is able to do effectively, but you mainly suggest to create a compelling story the founder can tell on how they've been building the company, what are their story, really authentic content, founder content led, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I believe that many brands don't market in the year that we live in. Like, for example, today is 21st of July 2026, but many brands market, it is like 1985, 1995, 2005, 2015, not 2026. So brands don't market in the year that we live in. Even they don't market in the day we live in. You understand, right? So I think that there are, as I mentioned, more than 5.6 billion social media users, and there are billions of people use social media for personal purposes. So brands need to tell stories where their real consumers spend their time.
And working across different states, from UK, New York, and different countries. Have you seen a difference on how these brands or companies are operating differently, and what they actually doing correctly? What are they actually doing?
Well, I believe that marketing is the strongest in the United States because they are hungry for growth. Whereas, for example, the problem of Europe is overregulation of artificial intelligence and social media. And I believe that in some in the UK, in Australia, they banned to use social media under the age 16. So I believe that social media has pros and cons, but when it comes to marketing, it is only way to grow nowadays. And what allows what allows brands to grow is agility, adaptability, open-mindedness, to create content that is in followers' best interest and not in their best interest. Because you need to, when you build a startup, you need to create content that is audience's best interest, not in your best interest. Because many brands are salesy, transactional. So the only tiny minority of brands are care about their consumers, listen to consumers, interact with consumers, inform consumers, and educate their consumers. So nowadays, Michael, it's all about positioning your brand as a media company, and you need to understand that um, social media is the only way to grow. And as we see, easy device like Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn are the new BBC, CNN, NBC. These channels are the source of information.
And how do you think? Yeah, so it seems clear for founders that telling stories about their journey and building their personal brand online, but how they can do it using AI. Sometimes AI content can be feel no authentic. How do you think can be used effectively in founder-led content strategy?
So as I mentioned, that human touch is a huge differentiator. Human touch. If brands automate everything, consumers lose trust because because when you build a brand, you need to show your heart, you need to show your smile, you need to show your face, you need to show your passion, your compassion. So AI, soft skills are our advantage, Michael. Soft skills, communication, empathy, direct responsiveness, because I believe that AI can't build direct communication with consumers. So it is our advantage to take a step forward and to have direct communication and interaction with consumers. And I believe that marketing is all about human nowadays, but marketers are focused at AI, algorithms, likes, automation, and they forget human connections. So brands and founders who prioritize human connection win in the long term.
So basically automate everything that is not human led.
Because as I mentioned that nowadays, what Professor Philip Kotler said, that marketing is a combination of sociology, psychology, anthropology. So marketing is all about human. Marketing is not all about automation. It's all about human. So human connection is a be all and end all. So as I mentioned that social media, why do we have social media channels? To interact with brands, right? To create content, to distribute our ideas, to communicate with our world. So does AI communicate with consumers? I don't believe that AI can connect with consumers on on an emotional level. We can, because emotional connection is huge advantage in the age of AI. AI's disadvantage is human emotional connection. It is our advantage.
So focusing on the emotional connection,
Yes, totally.
that's actually a great point. As AI can do that. So
Yes.
we should be able more to uh, connect with our audience emotionally. That's
Totally.
fantastic. Thanks for that. And I want to go into three really practical moves that founders, operator, small businesses, they can actually do this month to getting the value from AI. From your angle, we can talk about marketing definitely. So if you can have some really practical example to leverage AI for small businesses.
First of all, it's all about reducing cost, improving business efficiency, um, then maximizing your effectiveness, and making better strategic decisions. You know, it has many benefits. Also, analyzing data. So as you can see, AI has many advantages. So we can take advantage of these generative AI tools that are available at our fingertips to analyze data, to reduce costs, to improve efficiency, to connect with consumers, to personalize, and to build emotional connection with them through direct consumer connection. And I would say that it's all about starting small, building gradually, showing patience. Then content creation is still dominant in the age of AI, but with human personal connection, they catch two birds with one stone, right? And also brands need to be authentic and just care about their consumers in the digital age.
There is something they should stop doing.
Sorry?
If there is something that actually founders or a small business that they should stop doing now that AI is basically doing a lot of the automation side.
Yes, because too much automation damages your brand. Too much automation. And it's all about when a consumer asks question on X Twitter, you need to respond. If AI responds to consumer on X, then it makes no sense, right? So we need to show gratitude. And also, I believe that showing gratitude is what allowed me to build my personal brand, right? X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the rest of social media channels. Because every time someone shared my content, left comment on my posts, tweets, and appreciated my content, I was showing gratitude to my followers all throughout the world, right? And it allowed me just to build emotional connection with my community.
Vladimir, you have been doing digital transformation since before the iPhone, and looking at the next 12 to 18 months, what do you think is a structural change business owner need to prepare for what most people are seeing yet? So, what's your prediction on the shift on how businesses are operating and what we have to prepare for?
First of all, Michael, every business needs to become an AI agentic business, or they will be out of business. So my second prediction is that multi-agentic orchestration will dominate the foreseeable future. Third is to automate some routine tasks because of generative AI tools. And I believe that every person will have an agent in the foreseeable future, every person. And because they save time. So AI is a huge time saver, huge time saver.
And practically, how that look like? What should we prepare as a business owner? Practically, would you advise to take some courses in agentic AI to understand how to implement effectively AI in our businesses, or how to build AI agent? What do you think they could do actually businesses right now?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, Michael, AI is transforming decision-making process. So AI is a decision maker in our lives. We ask ChatGPT where to go on vacation, what product to choose, and it literally decides our life, right? So I think it is on the other hand, it is a big mistake that AI has become the decision maker in our lives, right? But that is a part of the digital age. That is a part of the digital age, and I think everybody should adapt to this reality, and they should have agentic AI in their daily lives, because I save time. For example, when I wake up in the morning, my agent scans news information, and it provides me, because it researches information, news, right? Because I save time, so I don't need to visit 7, 10 news websites just to check out news, right? But through agentic AI, I save time, and I keep my finger on the pulse of the latest recent news. And this is a one great example to what extent we can save our time. So I think even in the foreseeable future, agentic AI will become a huge decision maker in our lives. So I think human beings will depend too much on agentic AI, and that is already part of our daily lives.
Are we going to merge with AI? Ray Kurzweil, I don't know if you know, is a famous futurist, and he is predicting that we are going to merge with AI by 2040. But I probably think that we're already doing it, right? We already are, right?
Yes. So I think agentic AI scans news for me. I save time. It decides my life, where to go on vacation, which product should I choose. But I believe that is the age of agentic AI. Building a brand is a huge advantage. So if you build a brand, then generative AI tools will choose your brand to recommend to consumers.
Fantastic. And if someone watching, they feel they are falling behind with the AI development, what's this one things that they can do right now to step ahead and really get leverage from AI right now?
I believe that curiosity is our number one skill in the age of AI, Michael. If you are a curious person, you will not only survive, but will also thrive. So if you ask ChatGPT for any questions, it provides great solutions. So when I was in childhood, I used to love reading encyclopedias because I was a curious person, you know. But nowadays, at my fingertips, I can ask ChatGPT any question. It provides great answers, you know, because I want to explore new places, new lakes, new mountains, new new stars in the sky, for example. I mean, the diversity is the spice of life in my life, and also with generative AI tools, everything seems much easier, quicker, and I'm in the catbird seat, you know?
Yeah, that's unbelievable how AI is democratize information and allowing everyone to have an expert close to them in anything that they do.
Yes, absolutely. And I would say that my second recommendation to your audience is to just Google generative AI tools, and they should explore, and they will see good sides, bad sides. Content creation, when it comes to content creation, it's a remarkable tool. And they can even, if they are not good writers, they can become good writers because with generative AI tools. And I believe that human connection will be our huge advantage in the age of AI in the future. Human connection.
Fantastic, Vladimir. Thank you very much for your insight. I think it is really valuable and useful. Your insight. I really believe that in the age, as you said, in the age of the AI-human relationship, they are gonna increase in value because AI will make us more human, and that will be even more valuable to us to be connected with our audience and to be able to communicate our stories. So thank you very much for your journey. If you have anything to add for our audience, please let me know. But what I normally do with the people interviewed, they generally come back in 6 months or a year, where we are going to see what has changed in this period. I like to invite them back into the show. So Vladimir, thank you very much.
Yes, I just wanted to finish this podcast by mentioning this quote of Albert Einstein, who said that imagination is more important than knowledge. So we need to use our imagination just to thrive in the age of AI.
Fantastic. Yeah. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Definitely, it seems like in the age of AI is really valuable, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. And I will get back in touch soon. So thank you very much for your time.